This is my fully automated pumpkin farm. So this one only does one pumpkin at a time, but see that there? It just, a pumpkin just generated and it automatically just pushes it into the hopper and goes right into the chest. Now this chest will fill up by itself, all by itself, fully automated. Now here's a real quick view from above, just so you can see what it looks like. Got a few action shots. I just threw them all together just so you can get a feel for like what it looks like from above. Look at that. Here's a few more. Boom, just keeps hitting the pumpkin over and over, filling up our chest. Now, I only have one pumpkin plant right here, just one stem. So I could scale this up by planting a whole bunch of pumpkins and having a whole bunch of pistons and observers and have them go into different hoppers, or I could have a minecart that goes around and collects them. You can do a more elaborate setup like that too. But the way it is right here, this is just like this is the most simple example where you just have one pumpkin. It keeps growing. Every time this pumpkin grows, it gets pushed into there. So just do this if you want the simplest method for an fully automated pumpkin farm. And if you don't want to go through all of that, you can just grow pumpkins the manual way like this. Problem with that is you got to chop them with the axe. Not too bad. You still end up with more pumpkins than I know what to do with, but it's not fully automated and it's just not, it's not hands off. You still got to do stuff. It's still harder than collecting pumpkins from here. Yeah, if you're busy building something or mining something, while you're doing that, while you're busy building stuff and doing other things, your pumpkins are automatically just going to be growing, getting pushed into these hoppers and filling up the chest. You'll come back before you know it, and this will be filled with stacks of 64 pumpkins. Great way, just while you're doing other stuff, pumpkins start generating. With a regular farm like this, they grow and they sit there while you're busy doing other things, and no new ones grow until you remember to come by and just chop these, and you're always too busy for that, right? This way, even with just one pumpkin like this, eventually it's going to fill the chest up, and that eventually comes pretty quick when you're when you're busy doing other stuff, right? So yeah, still, I would expand this, right? This is just an example. I would make a few more of these, expand it a whole bunch, and you can choose how much you want to expand it. There are more efficient ways of doing this. If you do expand this beyond more than one pumpkin, probably going to want a minecart going around with a hopper in the minecart. But yeah, just one way to do it. But yeah, anyways, the way this works, we have an observer here. The observer will see when this stem changes. So when a pumpkin generates, the stem is going to change slightly. When the stem changes, the observer will observe the change in the block. It's going to send a redstone signal on this redstone over here, over to this piston. This piston is going to push the pumpkin into the hopper. It basically breaks the pumpkin block and it falls into the hopper. So when the pumpkin generates, this is the only spot it can generate. And once this block does change, immediately this piston pushes that newly generated pumpkin right into the hopper here, goes into the next hopper, and right into the chest. And you could put the chest a little closer. You could have one hopper and the chest right there. I just prefer to make a line like this. It's more expensive, but up to you, however you want to do it. Kind of just an example there. One critical thing, you do need water here. Theoretically, I think it'll work without it, but generally you want to have you want to have it irrigated. You need your soil to be hydrated for this to really go. And you can speed up the growth of these pumpkin stems with bone meal, but that's only going to work if you have hydrated your soil with some water. Really, the water's pretty critical, so just add some water there, right? And that is it. I put glass blocks around this. You could enclose it with whatever you want. Glass blocks let you kind of see what's going on inside. And that's pretty much it. That is my pumpkin farm right there, right? So few pumpkins here, pretty good deal. That's everything you need to know to build a pumpkin farm. Let's leave this and come back a little bit later. All right, there we are. We come back. Let's see how many pumpkins we've got. So this did take a little while, but look at that. Full thing of pumpkins. That's what happens when you go off and go mine or do whatever else you're going to do. To be honest, I just let it sit there because, this is a creative world. But there you go. Whole chest of pumpkins. If you found this video interesting, or maybe it's going to help you figure out how to build your own pumpkin farm, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below if you have any suggestions or improvements. But that's it for today. Hit the bell icon, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on that next video.